No. Which device could you not live without? Which device, without one of these devices, would make your life a lot harder? Me, for example, without my laptop, my life would be a lot harder because I write all my assignments on my laptop. I use it for my studying, use it for watching movies and stuff like this. So without a laptop, my life would be a lot harder. At least I think so. What about you guys? What could you guys not live without? Nothing? You want to keep everything, right? You want to keep everything. And that's right. So we use electrical devices every day. It's been around for 100 years. We use them for everything. When I took the bus today, the bus was electric. The air conditioning on the bus was electric. These lights are electric. These fans are electric. Everything is electric. Okay? We live in a world, especially in this city, everything around us is electric all the time. Okay. The thing is, electricity can be dangerous. It can be dangerous. So it's up to us to protect ourselves. Yeah, to protect ourselves and protect others to make sure that nothing bad happens to us. Okay, so we have a list of electrical devices. Now I want you guys to think of risks. We know what risks are. Yeah, dangerous things that can happen with the electrical device. So now we want to make another list of risks associated with electrical devices. So I'll go first. Let me think. How about this? Overheating. The overheating when the temperature goes up. Yeah, when it gets really hot. So if you use a device that has a battery, like a phone or a laptop, batteries can overheat, and that could be dangerous. So let's make a list like we did before. The risks associated with electrical devices. So we have overheating. What else? I don't know. So heat, right? It's the temperature is high, hot. What happens when things get very hot? Fire. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Yeah, shock. Anything else? Hmm? Older devices? Yeah. Let's yeah. Outdated. Dated. Outdated devices. Cool. I think this is a good list. When it comes to electrical safety, these are kind of the four things that could happen to us. Yeah. Your laptop could overheat. It could shock you. It could start a fire. And when you're working with outdated devices, things that are old, things that are not up to date, all of these things have a higher chance of happening. All right. So we have some risks. Now I want to come up with some ways to mitigate these risks. Mitigate means make the probability less. Yeah. So mitigation strategies. Yeah. To make things happen less. So let's say I have yeah. Let's say this laptop. This is quite a new laptop, but let's say it's not. Let's say it's old, very old, very old. What can I do to protect myself? Anything. All right, so electrical devices, right? We need to plug them in, right, into a socket. So this hole is a socket. The hole is a socket. This thing, anybody knows the name of it? Plug. This is the plug. This is the socket. And the plug goes into the socket. Okay? Don't do this on a real extension cord. This thing we call extension cord. Okay? I extend it, I can plug it, and I can have sockets near me. So the thing with extension cords that a lot of us are guilty about is that we overload them. We overload them. Okay. So we have, let's say, we have a socket here, we have one socket here, we have one plug here, we have one plug here, and it becomes overloaded. Too many plugs, too much stuff plugged in. That can cause fires, it can cause shocks, it can cause overheating. Okay, and none of us want that. The good thing is, in the UK, especially in the UK, these plugs, they have a very smart design. Okay, they're designed very smartly. So I think you might have noticed on electronics, um, there are these markings. Okay, I think you guys know this. Yeah, it's not very clear. But you're recording. Yeah. Mhm. So if you guys see here in the corner, you see that marking that I just wrote on the CE. Yeah. Yeah. So this is marking. Here in the corner, this marking. Here. What does that mean? What does that mean? Um, this marking means that the device has undergone uh, testing and has passed a lot of regulations in order to be sold in Europe. So UK is not a part of the EU anymore. So these markings, they're okay. But there's also another marking where something like this. Okay, this is another marking. And basically these two markings, they ensure that your electronic device is safe. Okay, it was tested by third-party professionals and it's safe to be sold. Things that happen to us. When I moved here, I needed to buy some appliances. I needed to buy a kettle and I needed to buy a toaster. I found a toaster pretty quickly, but a kettle, I was shopping around a lot because I didn't want to pay £30 for a kettle. I was like, no, I'm a cheap guy. Like, that's way too expensive. Um, so I went to a Poundland and I bought a kettle for £10. Uh, it it blew up. It blew up. So I was very lucky that nothing happened to me. But the kettle blew up. Okay, it exploded into a fire. Okay, it could have shocked me. It could have started a fire. It could have been very loud. Now, that was my fault because that kettle was not CE certified. It did not have this mark. Okay, so for you guys, when you're out, when you're buying electronic devices, make sure you look for this mark. If it does not have this mark, it means it could be fake, it could be counterfeit, and it's not safe. Okay. Another thing that we can do to protect ourselves, in the UK, I think you've noticed most plugs they have these switches on them, right? Yeah, to turn it on and off. So if I'm not using this plug right now, turn it off. Yeah, that's the safest thing you can do. Really, here in the UK, they take electrical safety very seriously. It's kind of annoying, but no accidents happen here. Very little accidents happen here because of this safety culture. Yeah, people here take it very seriously. So things that we can do: watch out for the CE mark when buying electronics. Okay, turn off the plugs when you're not using them, and don't overload the sockets. Don't have 50 things plugged in at the same time because it could overload the system. It could cause a fire. Could shock you. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Okay. Um, and yeah, that will be it for the electrical safety part. I kind of have to do this a little bit just for the beginning, but now we can start with our English part, okay? Remember, CE, sometimes it looks like this, UKCA, CE, turn up that thing, don't overload your sockets. So today, I have some things prepared for you. Like always, we're gonna start with a tongue twister. A proper cup of coffee. Nice. First, let's go together slowly. A proper copper cup of coffee. One more time. A proper copper cup of coffee. Now together. A proper copper cup of coffee. Who wants to go alone? Copper. Copper. Yeah. Copper is this metal. It's a type of metal. It's used in electrical wire stuff. A proper copper cup of coffee. Who wants to go really fast? A proper copper cup of coffee. Proper copper cup of coffee. Even very nice, very nice. I just want to warm up a little bit. Warm up our speaking. Okay. Let's do another one. I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. This one's here. Shoe shine shop. Very good. Okay, first let's go together. First let's go together. Everybody slowly, everybody together. I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. You guys are really good with the sound. You guys are really good. You guys are really good. Okay, again. I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. Yeah, you guys know this. You guys seen this before. You guys are really good. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Who wants to go really fast? I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. Awesome, guys. Awesome. You guys are really good at this. You guys are really good at pronouncing the sh. Funnily enough, a lot of English people they have a problem with the sh. Yeah, but you guys are really good at it. Okay. Do we feel warmed up? Yeah, we feel warmed up. Okay, let's get to the meat. So today I want to talk a little bit about explaining yourself. Okay. So explaining, it means adding details, making things clear. Okay. Yeah. So let's do some examples. we have a question. What do you prefer? Tea or coffee?
Tea or coffee.
Yeah. So tea or coffee. So this is a question for you guys. So I get asked this question. You ask me, what do you like more, tea or coffee? Ask me.
One more tea or coffee.
You ask me, what do you like more? You like drinking tea. You see, that is a good answer. But that doesn't give us much detail, right? For me, for example, I prefer drinking coffee. Simple answer. But we can always make it better, yeah. We can explain, we can add detail, we can make it wonderful. Well, I actually prefer drinking coffee because I like the energy that it gives me in the morning. In fact, sometimes when I drink tea in the morning, it makes my stomach upset and I get sick. So really, that's why I like drinking coffee. You see how that's different too? I prefer coffee. Yeah. You add detail. You make it more. You add. So now together, maybe you can work in groups, maybe you can work in pairs. I want you guys to discuss tea or coffee. Make sure to add uh two details. So if I was gonna say I prefer tea, I'm not just gonna say I prefer tea. I'm gonna say I prefer tea because that's what I grew up drinking as a kid. Also, I prefer the taste of tea over coffee. So, one example, two examples, okay? So, go ahead. We're also going to do city versus the countryside. City versus the countryside. Working alone versus in a team. Bus versus the underground. And I'm just gonna write metro so it fits. And you know what? Let's stick with this for now. So I want you guys in between each other to give me for each of these a reason for why you prefer one or the other with two examples. So like I said before, me, I like drinking. I prefer drinking coffee. I like drinking coffee because I like the energy and I prefer the taste. Those are my two reasons. I prefer the energy and I prefer the taste. Okay? So now it's up to you guys. We want to come up with three more. Explain to me why you prefer the city over the countryside. Explain to me why you prefer working alone versus working in a team. Explain to me why you enjoy taking the bus versus taking the metro. Yeah? Sure. So let's get to it. So, what about you? Tea or coffee? Tea? Why? Two examples. What do you like about tea? You guys can come up with your own examples. Why do you like tea? Good. That is one example. When coffee keeps me up. Coffee keeps me up. Yeah, I have my eyes open. Yeah, when I drink coffee.
Yes.
Yeah, coffee keeps me up. That's one example. Keeps me up. It's like, now I'm down, now I'm up. So coffee keeps me up. Yeah. So one example. I need another one. I need one more example. So coffee, you like it. You like tea because coffee keeps you up, and something else. Think of something else. What about you? So you prefer tea, right? So what do you like about tea? Is it the taste? Is it how you make it? Is it because you always were drinking tea, you're not used to coffee? Right. There's so many reasons. You don't like the taste. Good. I don't like the taste of coffee. That's great. Another reason. Come into another reason. What about you guys? Coffee or tea? You prefer coffee. Why? Give me two examples why coffee is better than tea for you. Yeah, so coffee gives me energy, right? Gives me energy. And what else do you like about coffee? Do you like the taste? Some people don't like the taste. You like the smell. Beautiful. So instead of saying I like coffee, I'm gonna say I like coffee because I enjoy the taste and I like the energy. That's what I want from you guys. Okay? So now for these, you guys talk between each other, blah 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 blah, 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 and come up with these three. What about you? Why did you like this? Way too quiet in here. Talk, guys, talk. Ask your partner. Figure it out together. What about you? You can be my partner. So, we can say it's quick. It's also convenient. Yeah, natural. I prefer the natural because it's quick and convenient. Two examples. What about you? Do you like working alone or working in a team? Working so working alone is me on my own, or I can be in a team. It can either be only me or you and me. You know? Yeah, alone by yourself, by yourself. Together. Together. So you can sit there, you're in a team. Yes. Then so we have more so you have help from others. That's one example. So people help you and you can have kind of more ideas, right? When you're working on one project, you have you have help from others and then you have your ideas. You know, I'm gonna start writing things on board. What about you guys? Working? So do you like working alone or in a team? Team. Why? You can share, right? You can share thoughts, you can share ideas. So people can show you different perspectives, new ideas.
Yes. And yeah,
Perfect. You share knowledge. Awesome. That's why I like seeing it as well. What else? Awesome. Perfect. Share ideas, help each other. That's perfect. That's what I love. Okay. Good. So I had some really good conversations going on, guys. We like coffee because of the taste. Some people like the smell. Some people like the energy. Some people don't like the taste. Some people prefer tea. Some people are more just like tea. Yeah, the city it's going to offer more opportunities. It's going to offer oh, cloudy, crowded. Yeah, city is crowded. Yeah, city is super crowded. A lot of opportunities, but it is crowded. While in the countryside, you don't have that many opportunities, but people are kind of nicer, right? People are a bit more friendlier. Working alone versus in a team. Working alone, you have your quiet. Yeah, you can be with your own thoughts. You have your peace. But working in a team, you have help from others. You can share ideas, and you can collaborate. And I think that's awesome. Okay, cool. So let's move on. So we're gonna continue with what we were doing, but I'm gonna give you outline that we can use. Okay, so we can use this. So opinion, explain, example, more detail, and then we can do and check understanding. Don't worry about that too much. I'll explain. Okay. So let's say let's say like this. What did you do this weekend? Okay. So my question was, what did you do this weekend? The answer or the we can do answer slash opinion. Yeah, answer or opinion. So the question was, what did you do this weekend? The answer was, I stayed at home. That was the answer. Okay. But look, we can add a lot more. I'll take over. So I stayed at home because explain it. Explain it. Because I stayed at home because I was sick. Opinion, explain. Explain, okay? Because I stayed at home because I was sick. Example, because I was sick. Um, I had a bad headache. I give an example of what was wrong with me. And then I add more detail. Um, I stayed at home because I was sick. I had a bad headache. and had to rest. So do you see what we just did? We took that one answer that was, I stayed at home, and we expanded it. Yeah, expanded it. I stayed at home because I was sick, I had a bad headache, and had to rest. I explain, I give an example, and then I add a bit more detail. Then, in some cases, we can do this check, but you know what? Let's not do this. Let's forget about this. So, I'm gonna write some things on the board. Okay, I'm gonna write something like this. And you guys will tell me the answer, where I answered, where I explained, where I gave an example, and where I added more detail. You see here how it's under. The answer is here. The explanation is the blue. The example is the black. And the more detail is the blue again, yeah? We understand? So I'm gonna write some things on the board and we're gonna decipher them together. Working in a team is the best because you can help each other. For example, one person can read while the other person writes. This makes teamwork the best. So, where's the answer? Working in a team is the best. Now explain. Where's explain? Yeah, because you can help each other. Perfect. Example. Mhm. Example. For example, while the other one writes. I'm gonna add a bit more detail at the end. This makes teamwork the best. You see how we broke it down? The simple opinion. Somebody asked me a question. What do you like, working in a team or working alone? I can say, I like working alone. Or I can say, I like working alone because I like to have my time. A lot of the times when I work in a team, I get distracted by others and it doesn't make me concentrate. That's why I like to prefer working alone. This is what I'm trying to do. Explain things, yeah. And we can use this structure. We have the answer, we explain the answer, usually before we explain. Oops. For explaining, before we explain, we'll usually say because. Okay, so I like drinking tea because. Then when I talk about the example, I say, for example. And then a bit more detail, I would use and or. Okay, let's move on. I prefer taking the metro because it is faster. For example, the bus to my school takes 30 minutes, while the metro takes 10. The metro is simply more convenient. So, where's the answer? The question was, what do you like, metro or bus? Where's my answer?
Because it is like
Well, because is the explain part. Careful. The answer is what I start with. What do I start with here? Yeah, I prefer taking the metro. I prefer taking the metro. That's the start, right? That's what I'm telling my. That's what I'm telling the person I'm having a conversation with. I prefer taking the metro. Then I explain it. Remember, I use because. Why do I like taking the metro? I like taking the metro because it's faster, because it's more convenient, because the station is near my house, because I don't know, I ride for free, I don't pay. I don't know, we could come up with anything, okay? So I explain because it is faster than, for example, I give an example. For example, the bus to my school takes 30 minutes, while the metro only takes 10. You see, this is quite a long example. And then at the end, I add a bit more detail. In this case, I didn't use and, I just used a full stop. It's just more convenient. It's just more convenient. Convenient. When things are easier. Convenient is when things are made a bit more easier. Okay. Let's do one more. I'll get rid of this because it's taking up too much room. Hmm. Could you highlight the answer? Could you highlight the answer in this paragraph? Could you highlight the answer? You can come up and highlight it. Could you highlight the explanation? So you highlight the explanation. So first we get the answer. Very good. That's good. And you could highlight the example. You highlight the example. You highlight the explanation. You highlight the example. Yeah, no. Explain. Sorry. Yeah, explain. Yeah. Where do I explain my answer? Good. Good. Perfect. And then I give a little bit more detail at the end. That's what we're talking about. So you see how we can use this structure. Answer, explain, example, more detail. We can really make our speaking greater, more better. Okay? Cool. So now I'm gonna write 3 sentences on the board. And you guys are going to convert them into this structure. Okay? So we'll do the first one together. We're going to start with this. That's my answer. I like my city. Now, I want to explain it a bit. I want to explain it a bit. And you guys are going to help me. Why do you like this city, for example? Why do you like London? Because I like my city because I like building on skyscrapers. Awesome. Oh, something else. Something else. Yeah, because my city is very green. There's a lot of parks. Something else. Something else. What do you guys think of it? Think about it. Yeah, shopping is really good, right? A lot of people, a lot of shop. Perfect, guys. This is what I like. Okay, let's go to shops. I like my city mainly. So I explained. Now I want to add an example. Why is the shopping so good? Maybe there is a store here that is only here. I'm from Czech Republic. We don't have Uniqlo. I love Uniqlo. I buy all my stuff at Uniqlo. So I like my city mainly because of the shopping. For example, London has a Uniqlo, while my city, Prague, doesn't have a Uniqlo. Yeah. So more examples. Give me more examples. It's gonna start like this. For example, why is the shopping here better? They're shopping everywhere. Yeah, I know. I know. The shopping is really good. But why? Give me some examples. Maybe maybe you have a market near your house that you really like. Maybe there is a a clothing shop that has the perfect size for you. Everything fits you. Maybe there's a shop that it has the best colors, it has the best fabrics. Give me an example. I, I like my city because the shopping is great. I like my city mainly because of the shopping. For example, the market near my house has the best prices. Yeah, that's one thing I could say. For example, the market at my house has the best prices. Or, for example, the store around the corner simply has the best fruits, vegetables, electronics, anything.
There is a mall. There is a mall store near my house.
I like my city mainly because of the shopping.
Yeah.
For example, the stores near my house.
Near my house. So what conflict made you to the far?
You don't have to go far. So look, I like my city mainly because of the shopping. For example, the stores near my house have it's a big selection. A big selection.
Yeah.
Big selection, a lot of options. And then I can add a tiny bit more detail at the end. Just something small, maybe. I like my city because it comes with so look. I have the answer. I like my city. I explain it because of the shopping. I give an example. And then I add a bit more detail. For example, the stores near my house have a big selection and great prices. Yep. So look, now we added more detail. We're gonna do this a few more times. So look, so we went from this. I like my city. And we made all of this. Yeah? Look how much detail we added. Yeah? It'll make us sound so smart when we talk. Good. I like learning English. That's my opinion or answer. I like learning English. Somebody explain to me why do you like learning English? Hey, maybe you don't. Well, give me some examples why you like learning English.
lots of people for the faith you would see this word.
It is the most spoken language in the world.
Yeah.
It actually isn't, though. Mandarin's number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is very useful, right? I like learning English because it's a very useful language. Everybody speaks English, right? You can speak English almost everywhere. I explain. I like learning English because it's a useful language, right? A lot of people speak it. I explained it. Now let's do some examples. I like learning English because it's a useful language. For example, it can be anything. It can be anything. A lot of people, yeah. I like learning English because it's a useful language. For example, I like learning English because it's a useful language. For example, it's one of the most spoken languages. And then let's add a bit more detail at the end. Yeah, so opens up opportunities. You can do work, you can study abroad. I like learning English because it's a useful language. For example, it's one of the most spoken languages. Perfect. Okay. Let's you talk to many people. Detail. Oh. Supposed to be like this. Sorry. I like learning English because I explain it, because it's a useful language. I give an example. For example, it's one of the most spoken languages in the world. Then I add a little bit more detail. It lets you talk to a lot of people. Cool. Let's do one or two more of these. Brushing your teeth is important. Yeah, it's really important, right? We gotta brush our teeth. Yes, we gotta brush our teeth. I got my answer. Brushing your teeth is important. That's my opinion or answer. I'm saying. Who's gonna help me explain it? Brushing your teeth is important. What word are we gonna use to explain? Because. Go on.
Because it's myself housing.
Healthy. Beautiful. Brushing your teeth is important because It keeps them healthy, right? Keeps them healthy. Brush your teeth. Keep your clean. Keep your teeth healthy. So I explain because now example. How are we going to start? For example, what happens when we don't brush our teeth? If I didn't brush my teeth for a year, you're gonna have problems with your teeth, right? What do we call these problems? Cavities, root canals, rot. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with your teeth, right? So let's say brushing your teeth is important because it keeps them healthy. For example, it helps you avoid cavities. Cavities is when you don't brush your teeth and stuff gets in and it gets rotten, and then they have to rip the teeth out. Yeah. For example, it helps you avoid cavities. I give an example, and then who's going to give me some more detail at the end? Brushing your teeth is important because it keeps them healthy. For example, it helps you avoid cavities. And what else? Anybody wants to give me some more detail? All right, let's do it. That helps you avoid cavities. And you're going to have a beautiful smile. Yeah. Yeah. So look, from that short answer, that very short answer, brushing your teeth is important. I can make all of this. I can really sound a lot more elegant. I really can explain myself better. I can add a lot of detail. That's very important. Okay. So, how are we going to do this? Maybe you guys can work in a team. Could you sit there, please? And you can be one team and another team, yeah? We're going to work in a team now. I'm going to give you some scenarios. So let's do one together, and then you guys will work on the other ones in your team. This is the scenario. You are late for work. Explain yourself. So let's say you come to work and your boss is already waiting for you. Jonas, come on, man. Half an hour late. What's wrong? Where were you? Why are you late? I have a lot of options at that point, yeah. I can either say, hey, sorry, the bus was late. Okay. But I want to explain it, right? I want to explain it. I'm so sorry, boss. I'm late for work because there was a traffic jam. There was a crash on the main road. I was stuck in the bus. We were standing still for 15 minutes, and that's why I'm late. Does that make sense? Yeah. So this one, we do it together. We just did it together. And now for the other ones. You forgot your homework. Explain. Mm. So, two more. You forgot your homework. Explain. And you want to return something at a shop. Explain. So, let's give it 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. You guys talk and come up with some answers as a team, as a group. Okay? So, how are we going to start? Let's start with the homework one. Let's start with the homework one, yeah? So, um, last week I gave you some homework, but you don't have it. What happened? How come? Explain. Explain yourself. So you left it at your son's house, yeah? Left it at your son's house. I want more detail. I want more detail. Okay, okay, okay. So you're okay. No, but look, that's good. It's like I forgot the homework. I was at my son's house. I was helping him cook. I was cooking for him, and the homework fell into the soup. Yeah, very good, guys. I want you guys to like work as a team. You know, come up with some examples. Come up with some explanations for these things. They can be really funny. They can be really funny. They don't have to be serious. Um, you forgot your homework. You know, in English, the dog ate it. The dog ate it. A lot. But good, but good, really good, really good. Like you explained it well. You explained it well. Yeah. Think more, guys. Come up with some explanations. Come up with a lot of explanations. We're gonna write them on the board together. Yeah. Let me have one more. What do I think that's called? So you're late for work. Late for work. Explains. Because you had a headache. Give me more. Give me more. I want more. So, for example, you had a headache, right? Well, what? That's good. So instead of, why are you late for work? Oh, I'm sorry, I had a headache. Oh, I'm sorry that I'm late for work. I really couldn't wake up today. My head was killing me. I had a bad headache. And I really had to take the day. I had to take a few hours to rest. That's the thing. That's explaining. But you did it really well. We got some more. You forgot your homework. Explain why. Last week I gave you some homework. Where is it? I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. There is a mistake. That's it. Even more. Maybe make it like make it juicy. Make it with a lot of stuff. Oh, sorry, I forgot my homework. You know, I was walking home from school, and there was an eagle, and he came down and took my homework. You can make it funny. You can make it funny. You can do anything. So, some examples. We got homework. Something at a job, and the last one is you're recommending a restaurant. Explain why it's good. So, for example, what would you want to recommend me a restaurant? Recommend me a restaurant. Yeah, recommend me a restaurant and explain why it's good. Hey, you can tell me, maybe I'm recommending a restaurant. I will tell you, oh yeah, do you want some recommendations? Do you like tacos? Do you like tacos? It's a Mexican food. Do you like Mexican food? You don't like Mexican food. Okay, do you like most people like French food? Okay, then you have to go to this French restaurant around the corner. We have the most amazing entrecote. The wine sauce is mwah, and the wine pairing with it, amazing. That was the explanation. Try to give two examples. Try to give two examples. Yeah. So you said it's delicious. One more example. They flow or they're fresh. Fresh is when they're made. They usually make them at the restaurant. That means they're fresh. Then they can season it. Soothe it. The noodles are smooth. Forget it. So it's delicious and the noodles are smooth. Great. I want two examples there. But now, more. You want to return something at a shop. Yep. Why do you want to return this? It's damaged. Two examples. It's damaged. Yeah. It's damaged, then it doesn't fit. Good. Awesome. Great. How's it going here? You want to recommend me a restaurant? Let's pretend that we do. Recommend me a restaurant, give me two things why it's a good restaurant. Oil? Is it a spice? Yeah. Ingredient? Something you put in the food. How does that look like? Now I'm interested. What's that thing in the restaurant that they put in? Is it like an ingredient that they put in the food? Is it something that they put in? Is it a spice? Is it like salt, pepper? Is it white powder? MSG. MSG. You know what I got into? And what else? So you don't go to restaurants because they put too much MSG in their food? And why? Why? What? So MSG makes you dehydrated. Yeah, it makes you drink a lot of water. It's really good. It's really good. It's a good explanation. And what about you want to turn something out of dough? Yeah. The size is too small or too big, and maybe it's Hello, here. How's it going? So, you want to recommend me a restaurant? Yeah? Try to recommend me a restaurant and give me 2 reasons. So, restaurant to eat out food, right? So, you are giving me a recommendation. I ask you, hey, do you know any restaurant in the area? I'm really hungry right now. You don't get me, right? Do you understand? Not much. Okay. We got a few minutes left. Let's play games. You recommend me restaurant? I didn't ask you. Do we have some good fun? Explain to me. Yeah, which one?
What?
Okay.
What?
I walk, okay. And where is it? That word, hey, this is good, but it's better to say it. Yeah, but it's better to say it. It's better to speak. I walk. Where is the pub? Where is it? Is it there? Is it there? Is it there? Where? Okay, that way. How far? 10 meters. 2 minutes. 2 minutes walk. Beautiful. Okay. Why should I go there? Why should I go there? And yeah, why is it good? Why is it good? Why are you recommending it to me? Why? It's okay. It's a pub. It's around the corner. What makes it special? Do they have cheap beer? Do they have good beer? Do they have good food? Do they have good service? Do they have so they have good beer? Good. I just wanted to stand. All right, guys. So we got. Okay, guys. We have the last couple of minutes. I think that this lesson was a little bit too difficult, right? It was a bit too much. Too much. A bit too difficult. Okay. For next time, I try to do something a bit easier. I think I was expecting a bit too much of you guys. But nevertheless, as a final kind of, we can do the final game. The antonym, right? Remember the antonyms. Big, opposite of opposite of big. Small, yeah. These are antonyms. Big, small, fat, skinny, tall, short. Antonyms. Antonyms. Opposite. Opposite. Operate. Operate is what the doctor does. The opposite. So antonyms. Bitter. Bitter. Yeah, bitter is a taste, right? Bitter. Opposite of bitter. Sweet. What about salty? Salty and sour. Salty and acidic, and there's other things that we can use. Clean. Dirty. What else? Messy. Messy. Maybe disastrous. Your room is a disaster. Sturdy. Sturdy. This table, yeah, is sturdy. Sturdy, it means it's not really shaky. So it's a good table. It's sturdy. So sturdy, like strong. Opposite. Opposite of sturdy. Shaky or soft, weak. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, weak. It can be. All right. What about hilly? Mountains, hills. Yep. Hilly, flat, or plain. Plain. Plain is like, you can say plain when it doesn't have any. Plain is either a field where there's nothing in it, there's just a field, it's a plain field, or it can be very plain. Maybe you go to the bakery and the coffee is very plain. Plain, yeah, plain like a taste. When something doesn't have a lot of taste, it's plain. When something has a lot of taste, when something is, you put it in your mouth and it explodes. Very flavorful, very flavorful. Flavorful or rich. Very rich flavor, very rich. Cautious. Cautious. You have to be careful. Cautious is like careful. What's the opposite of caution? So cautious is when you're very careful. Oh, here. So the opposite. Courageous. Very courageous. Yes, I'll do anything. Here you go. Courageous. Courageous or bold. Bold. When you're very bold, when you're not scared, you'll do anything. Healthy. Opposite of healthy. Sick. Yeah. No. Unhealthy as well. Yep. Healthy. Sick. Unhealthy. And start. Start. And that is the end of this lesson, guys. Thank you very much, guys, for coming. So, if any of you guys have any recommendations for me, what to do next week, if you want to know something. So, the last lesson I did, we talked a little bit about GPs, about going to the doctor. So, would you guys like to hear more of that? Would you guys like to learn about that? Maybe booking an appointment at the GP, something like this. No? You already did that lesson, right? You already did that lesson. So yes, feel free to talk to me if you need anything, if you want any recommendations, if you're interested, if you want to improve something specific. Don't be afraid to talk to me. I'm happy to take recommendations. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys, as always. Lovely to see you and have a wonderful Friday.